Bye.
Have heart failure with unresolved symptoms? It may be time to see the bigger picture. Heart failure and seemingly unrelated symptoms like carpal tunnel syndrome, shortness of breath, and irregular heartbeat could mean something more serious called ATTR-CM, a rare, underdiagnosed disease that worsens over time. Sound like you? Call your cardiologist and ask about ATTR-CM.
Monday on ET, our ET Vault Unlock salutes Oprah Winfrey. 5 decades of never-before-seen interviews and stories you never knew. We love Oprah.
Yes, we do. We leave you now with Questlove.
Happening now.
San Antonio police say they are still looking for Lena Keel. They say the tip that led them to the woods here wasn't credible. Coming up, why a former FBI agent says that shouldn't mean people should lose hope.
We're in Eagle Pass, and this is an empty field right now, but the state of Texas plans to have a base here that can house up to 2,300 National Guardsmen. Coming up, we hear from the governor and how this will impact border security, but also the people who live here.
Cold front moves through in a few hours. Get ready for a temperature roller coaster and, of course, a chilly weekend ahead. We'll talk about just how cold it's going to get in just a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
Nearly 2 days of searching and investigators have come up empty-handed. We begin tonight with the latest on the search for missing little girl, Lena Keel.
Daniela Ibarra is live from where that search happened. Daniela joins us now. This is a search area that's roughly 500 yards from where Keel was last seen in the medical center area. I can only imagine how that family is feeling now that another search has come up with nothing. Daniela.
Yeah, well, a family representative tells me that they're relieved because that means that Lena Keel wasn't found. And I want to show you where we're at right now. This is where that search was going on. I mean, you can see the tread marks right here from the excavator and some of the crime scene tape left over from when they taped off this area. Now, I want to show you some video from earlier today. San Antonio police had an excavator out here this morning. The family told us, SAPD told them they brought it out because a clue led them to they found a clue by another tool. This area where police searched is about half a mile away from where Lena Keel's apartment, where she was last seen. Police have been looking for her since December of 2021. Even though police say this tip was not credible, a former FBI agent tells us this shouldn't give people a reason to lose hope.
You know, it doesn't tell me a whole lot other than, they're doing their job. I think SAPD, the FBI, they follow up on every lead. This is just an example of what they're doing.
Now, this case is one that the community has been invested in. Like we said, the search wrapped up, but we did see neighbors out here actually looking at what this area where the excavator was digging. Now, we spoke with one of those neighbors, a woman who was very emotional about this. And coming up at 6, you'll hear about why she got so emotional. We're live on the Northwest Side. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
All right, it is still a mystery. Thank you, Daniela. He told her to leave, and then she shot him. Now, San Antonio police are looking for that woman. The shooting happened around 9 last night on James Street near Center Street on the east side. Investigators say the woman drove to the man's home and stayed in her car. They say when the man came outside and asked her to leave, she shot him. That woman then sped off, and the victim was taken to a hospital.
A sad sight no matter which side of the immigration issue you are on. Texas troopers finding 2 children today along the border alone. It's a scenario that's played out a number of times and is no longer a surprise there. This picture posted to social media. According to the post by a DPS spokesperson, the children were found this morning about 10 miles from Shelby Park in Eagle Pass. It says the kids are from Honduras, and it appears to show 2 small children holding notes. One of those notes, they say, had a phone number and a Los Angeles address. Well, several measures have been implemented at the border to stop the influx of illegal immigration. Razor wire, fences, Humvees, military personnel. Now, much of the southern border has already been militarized by Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
And now the state is adding a base where thousands of Texas National Guard members will be housed. Our John Paul Barajas is in Eagle Pass this evening, where the governor made that announcement this afternoon. John Paul.
Steve, Myra, this is an empty field right now, but the state of Texas says come mid-April, phase 1 of their base will be established, and they'll have 300 National Guardsmen housed here. And when it's all said and done, they'll have 1,800 with the capability of bumping that number up to 2,300 during surges from migrants. Governor Greg Abbott says this is an effort to improve quality of life and living conditions for Texas National Guard soldiers, but also improve their response time and increase their ability to add razor wire to the border. And this location is only about 15 minutes from Shelby Park, which the state took over earlier this year. This comes at a time when there was a record-breaking number of crossings in December with nearly 300,000. But those numbers dropped by 50% in January, according to CBP Southwest Land Border Encounters.
You credit the razor wire for the decline. You don't think Secretary of State Anthony Blinken's meeting with Mexico had anything to do with that?
Of course not, because as everyone knows, it's not Mexico who controls the border. It's the cartels who control the border.
But it is worth noting that the U.S. Secretary of State met with Mexican officials in December, which has led to Mexico forcing migrants off freight trains headed to the U.S. and busing and flying some migrants back to their country. As for how much this is going to cost taxpayers for this space, we didn't get an exact number, but the governor says that they'll end up saving money because they won't be spending as much on hotel and travel. In Eagle Pass, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, John Paul. A New York judge just ruled that former President Donald Trump will have to pay a nearly $355 million penalty in his civil fraud case. Trump also barred from serving as an officer or director of any corporation or legal entity in that state for 3 years. Now, it will not stop his run for presidency. So, ironically, he can run for office in New York, but he can't run a business.
And he also still has his first criminal trial to deal with. That is scheduled for March 25th in New York. Our Washington correspondent Julia Benbrook joins us live with those details. Julia.
Well, Donald Trump's team is already vowing to appeal that massive fine and other penalties handed down today. But meanwhile, like you mentioned, the former president is preparing for his first criminal trial. We now know that the jury selection for that will take place on March 25th, meaning Trump will have to continue splitting his time between the courtroom and the campaign trail. March 25th. That's the date a judge in New York set for former President Donald Trump's first criminal trial. It will start about 7 months before voters head to the ballot box for the presidential election.
We'll just have to figure it out. I'll be here during the day and I'll be campaigning during the night.
Trump is accused of falsifying business records in the middle of his 2016 campaign to keep a past relationship with adult film star Stormy Daniels a secret. The former president has pleaded not guilty and denied wrongdoing. He's also claimed the charges brought by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg are politically motivated.
We today uphold our solemn responsibility to ensure that everyone stands equal before the law. No amount of money and no amount of power changes that enduring American principle.
The trial is expected to last 6 weeks, and Trump will be required to sit in a New York courtroom 4 days a week, which is certain to complicate his campaign efforts.
How can you run for election to be sitting in a courthouse in Manhattan all day long?
His primary opponent, Republican Nikki Haley, says Trump's long list of legal issues will hurt him in the general election if he becomes the nominee.
He's already said he's going to spend most of this year in a courtroom, not on a campaign trail. That's not a way you win.
Now, this is just one of many legal issues on Trump's calendar right now. The former president faces 91 felony counts across 4 indictments. Reporting live at the White House, Julia Benbrook, KSAT 12 News.
Julia, Trump has turned a lot of these courtroom appearances into campaign stops, making headlines at these regular appearances. So is this hush money trial expected to become another way for him to campaign?
Well, that's right. I mean, he has used these trials that are taking up a lot of his time as a way to reach supporters directly. Now, in this hush money case specifically, cameras are not allowed in the courtroom. So people will not be able to follow this in real time. But as you saw, he did speak to the cameras going in and coming out. So I do expect for him to still speak to the cameras, but they're not going to actually be in there during the trial.
You know, Julia, the next question I have is a little bit of an inexact science. I understand that. But so far, Trump's legal issues haven't seemed to hurt him on the campaign trail. Would it impact his support if he were actually to be convicted of a crime?
So I do have some data on this, some polling. And in those early voting states, in Iowa and New Hampshire specifically, where Trump did very well, had a commanding win in both of those states, some of the voters were asked, if he was convicted of a crime, would he still be fit for the presidency? And 31% of Republican caucus goers in Iowa and 42% of Republican primary voters in New Hampshire said no. So while it may not impact him in the primary right now, it could have a big impact on his support in a general election if convicted.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. Julia Benbrook reporting live for us from the White House. Thank you, Julia.
Meantime, today going a little bit differently for Donald Trump's challenger, Nikki Haley. She was in San Antonio. She was greeted this afternoon with cheers and applause as she took the stage to talk to supporters. The Republican presidential candidate in the Alamo City trying to rally more support. Haley's campaign hosted a meet and greet with voters at Viva Villa in Market Square today. Her stop here came just 30 minutes after Governor Abbott announced the addition of that new border base on the border that John Paul just told us about. Haley says her plan to stop illegal migrant surges calls for letting Border Patrol do its job and get rid of sanctuary cities.
We want to defund sanctuary cities once and for all. Put 25,000 Border Patrol and ICE agents on the ground and let them do their job. Go back to the Remain in Mexico policy so that no one even steps foot in the U.S. And instead of catch and release, we go to catch and deport. That is what will stop what's happening on the border.
Today's stop in San Antonio is part of Haley's two-day fundraising swing through Texas. She'll be stopping in Dallas and Houston as well.
I hope you're able to take the comfortable weather in today because this evening things are going to take a drastic turn.
Yeah, cold temperatures coming back with some strong winds, some rain mixed in there too. Adam Caskey's here with the details about our weekend weather wardrobe change.
A lot of gray.
Yes, a lot of gray.
Pointing to the clouds behind us because we're going to see a lot of that.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. We're really not going to have a whole lot of rain. Most of the rain has come to an end. We have one shower off to the north right now, but you see where the rain was today from Cuero to Kennedy all the way down toward Choke Canyon Reservoir. San Antonio right on the edge of the rainfall. You look at some of the radar estimates and 0.3 of an inch in southern Bexar County, north side, 0, not even a drop, and officially nothing at the airport, but over an inch in parts of Karnes County there around the city of Kennedy. Right now, the one shower we have on authority radar off to the north, and that's right near Blanco. It's actually just about to cross over Highway 281. You see it just flared up and just north of Blanco between Johnson City and the city of Blanco. That's highly isolated. We're not expecting much else in terms of rainfall, but the cold front is going to make it here soon, and these temperatures will quickly be falling. We're near 70 degrees, but that front is just a few hours away. We'll talk about its impact to the weekend, how cold and windy it'll get in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Accused of killing his sister's boyfriend, a jury finds Isaiah Acosta guilty of murder and sends him to prison for 15 years. Deliberations in this case began yesterday. It took the jury until 8:30 last night to convict him of murdering Alvin McShaw in September of 2022. Police arrived at Acosta's apartment on the night of the shooting, and that's when they found Shaw shot in the head. He died the next day. This morning, the same jury decided Acosta should spend 15 years behind bars.
Other stories we're following today, 2 teenagers now charged in that deadly shooting at the Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl rally. The teenagers are facing gun-related and resisting arrest charges. Additional charges are expected as well. They were arrested yesterday. Police say Wednesday's shooting stemmed from a dispute between several people that escalated into gunfire. The shooting sent panicked fans running, scrambling for safety. One woman was killed and more than 20 other people, many of them children, were injured.
Let's go to TransGuide right now. Time saver traffic. This is I-35 at Eisenhower, and you can see, I believe that's the northbound lanes we're looking at right there, where there's a big backup as people get off on 35, 410. Again, this is I-35 at Eisenhower. You can see the northbound lanes kind of slow going, but things are moving out there.
If you filled up your car lately, then you've already noticed the price jump at the pump. We've got the reason behind that increase and a look at how much higher prices could go as spring break approaches. Here's a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 today. A man accused in the brutal attack of his ex-wife and 2 young daughters was told that he would be facing the death penalty. Today, his surviving ex-wife, Mariah Gardner, is speaking out about that. She is telling us she's preparing for a long legal battle. We have her story coming up at 6 o'clock.
It's not your imagination. Gas prices are on the rise and just in time for a holiday weekend. We saw quite a jump this week.
Yeah, I filled up this week. I saw it too. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports you are going to have to dig a little bit deeper in the coming weeks to fill up the tank.
Hang on to your cap. Gas prices just moved into the climbing lane. They're up 18 cents in the past week, 32 cents in the past month. John Kajioka feels it. His truck guzzles $65 a fill up.
I know I got to gas up every week.
Janice Salazar drives a lot too.
I know which areas have the cheaper gas, so I do a little shopping around to the different areas.
We did too and found unleaded for $2.59 and along Pat Booker in Universal City. But buckle up. As spring break road trips get closer, more increases are coming.
Could be just a week or two away from seeing those sub $3 prices disappear. So prepare to dig a little deeper.
How much deeper? Well, let's put it this way. If you have a mid-sized SUV, for every 30 cents the price of gas goes up, you're putting another $5 right here into your tank.
And by the time they peak, we could be looking at an average of anywhere from $3.15 to $3.35 a gallon in San Antonio.
Why the rise? Gas Buddy's chief analyst says oil prices are up, but the main reason for the continuing surge is seasonal. Spring means more people will be driving, and refineries will switch to mandated pricier summer blends. It's a rough road for drivers already paying more for just about everything.
I think I'm going to ride a bike.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, yes, we're talking about spring and spring break, but we got some winter-like temperatures to deal with, Adam.
Yeah, winter's not done yet. We'll have a taste of winter and a taste of spring over the next 7 days, so prepare for the changes and the temperature swings ahead. All right, let's take a look at our forecast for this evening. I want to get right to it because if you're prepping to venture outside, you think, it's warm, it's not so bad. The cold front's going to arrive in just a few hours. That's going to really turn up the wind. And by 10 o'clock, we're talking a north wind at 15 to 25. And the temperatures quickly falling down into the 50s by 9 and 10 p.m. So you will feel the chill and it's going to get noticeably cooler out there this evening. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to 40 degrees. By Sunday morning, we're at 32, so a brief light freeze for most areas. Not everybody on Sunday. We'll break down just how cold and where in just a moment. But I do want to point out, into next week, those temperatures jump again. We'll have mornings well into the 50s. So this is just going to be a short-lived little cool down that's just going to last through the weekend. All right, let's spot the cold front on the temperature map here. Just south of Dallas now. Dallas at 59 degrees, Abilene 51. Lubbock currently 46. Meanwhile, 76 in Del Rio, 69 officially at the airport here in town. Still 70 Comfort and Kerrville, but your wind is shifting pretty much as we speak, and your temperature will be responding to that cold front momentarily as it moves from the north down to the south. Now, this is what we can expect tomorrow morning. 37 Bernie, 36 Comfort, 39 Bandera, Pipe Creek, even 39 Rio Medina, closer to 40 degrees around San Antonio. By noon, we're only at 47, and then a high temperature of 51. That's as warm as we're going to get tomorrow, 51 degrees, a little bit warmer south of town, but still unseasonably cool. Then we go into Sunday morning, around sunrise, right around that freezing point, 32 degrees from Helotes over toward the north side of town and into Converse as well. South of Highway 90, probably a degree or two above freezing, but just plan for a brief light freeze to start the day on Sunday, and even some upper 20s in the hill country. 57 Sunday afternoon, but check this out. It's spring-like once we get into next week. By Wednesday, we're at 80 degrees. Talk about a contrast. We warm 30 degrees from Saturday all the way on into the middle part of next week. So big changes coming this weekend. Windy and cold tomorrow. We'll dive more into the details of the gusty winds coming up at 6 o'clock. And overall, that spring-like weather will return, so plan for that. But we just have to make it through the weekend first.
Okay, is it me or is it funny that there are 80s and also 32 degrees?
I laughed myself as well.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have to laugh.
Glad I'm on the same page there.
All right, look out, Indy. Wemby has arrived.
He has. I can't wait for All-Star Weekend to kick off. It's going on any moment now. We heard from Victor Wembanyama this morning as he gets ready to hit the hardwood for the Rising Stars game. What Wemby's been up to right after the break. Check out the snow in Indianapolis today, a cool sight as the NBA All-Star Weekend officially gets underway. It's a 3-day event that begins with the All-Star Celebrity Game and the Rising Stars mini tournament tonight. The anticipation to see Spurs rookie Victor Wembanyama compete amongst the rest of the young talent in the league is very high. And with that, our Larry Ramirez joins us live from Gainbridge Fieldhouse to catch us up to speed on a busy morning. Larry, how's it going?
You know what, Mary? So far, so good. Thank you very much for asking. So NBA All-Star Weekend is heating up as we get closer to the All-Star game Sunday night. Now, this morning was the Rising Stars practice right here. And, of course, it featured some of the best young talent in the NBA on the court as they get ready to play that game tonight. And for the San Antonio Spurs, that's rookie Victor Wembanyama and second-year forward Jeremy Sohan, who will play on opposing teams. Wemby was drafted first overall and will play for Team Pau. Sohan, an injury replacement, will suit up for Team Jalen. Both guys practice at the same time, but at the opposite ends of the court, and you could tell they were having a very good time. Now, ever since arriving yesterday here in Indianapolis, Wemby has been non-stop with one event after another. Still, the 20-year-old is thrilled to be here, and he hopes to have a longer All-Star Weekend experience in the future.
Yeah, it's been, the schedule's been full, but it's also what I'm here for, and it's a lot of fun experiences, and yeah, I'm looking forward to play that game. 2 games hopefully, and next year hopefully the big game.
If Team Pau and Team Jalen both win their semifinal games, then Jeremy would go against Wemby in the Rising Stars final tonight. That would be a lot of fun. And Jeremy said it would be super cool to guard Wemby in a contest. We'll have more Rising Stars coming up at 6 o'clock. Mary, back to you.
Thank you, Larry. The Rising Stars semifinals tip off at 8 o'clock, and before that, at 6 is the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. We'll be right back after the break.
All right, I know we'll be feeling the chill this weekend, but if this doesn't get you in the spring mood, I don't know what does. This is out of Poth. Some early bluebonnets popping up. Poth, Seguin area. It said Poth, labeled as Seguin. Well, either way.
Bunch of baby bluebonnets.
Baby bluebonnets budding. Baby bluebonnets budding in the backyard.
Bunch of baby bluebonnets budding in the backyard. It's beautiful.
It's also Friday.
Yeah, can you tell?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have some weather. It's going to be windy and cold this weekend. Well, we'll have a good amount of sunshine, especially Sunday, but Sunday right near freezing in the morning. Look at those highs in the 50s. That's it.
Did you say we're going to have some weather? Got weather, guys. Thanks for watching.
Make more bluebonnet,
That was my toss back to you. We're going to have some weather.